Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast channel. I'm James, and I am super excited about today's topic. Amelia, my wonderful co-host, is here with me. Amelia, how are you feeling about today's discussion?
Hi, everyone. I'm Amelia, and I'm feeling really great, James. Today, we're going to talk about something almost everyone experiences, work life. But we won't just talk about work in a boring way. We're going to explore it like a story, like sharing your day, your challenges, your successes, all in English.
Exactly, and I know for many of our listeners, talking about work in English can feel tricky. There are so many words, phrases, and ways to express yourself. But don't worry, we'll make it simple and fun. We'll start with a story from my own work life to give you an example.
Oh, yes, I love stories, James. Stories make English come alive. So, what happened at work that you want to share first?
Well, imagine this. It's a Monday morning and I walk into the office. I feel tired because the weekend was short. I sit at my desk, open my emails, and suddenly I see a message from my boss. It says, "Can you prepare a big report by today?" My heart almost stopped.
Oh no, that sounds stressful.
Yes, it was. But here's the interesting part. We're not just talking about being stressed. I want to show how I handled it and how I could explain this in English. So I start planning, organizing my work, and taking one step at a time. And by the end of the day, I managed to finish the report.
That's impressive, James. And I'm sure our listeners want to learn how to explain moments like this in English.
Exactly. That's our goal today. We'll show you how to talk about challenges at work, how to describe your feelings, and how to share solutions in a clear and natural way. Let's start with the basics.
Good idea. So first, when you talk about work, you can start with simple phrases like, I have a busy day at work, or today was challenging at work. These sentences are simple, but they help set the scene.
Right, and then you can add a little story. What happened first, what you felt, what you did. For example, I could say, I felt nervous when I saw the email, but I decided to focus and finish the task step by step. That's simple English, but it tells a story.
Yes, and listeners, don't worry if you don't know every word. You can use simple words like happy, tired, excited, worried. These words can express feelings clearly.
Absolutely. So let's try an exercise together. Amelia, can you describe a busy day at work using simple English?
Sure, I can say, yesterday I had many tasks at work. I felt a little tired, but I started with small tasks first. I finished some tasks quickly. Then I worked on the big task. I felt proud at the end of the day.
That's perfect. Simple, clear, and easy to understand. Listeners, notice how Amelia told the story step by step. That's key to speaking English naturally.
And remember, the more you practice, the more confident you will become. You can start with your own work story and tell it like a mini adventure.
Yes, and in the next section, we'll go deeper into work challenges and how to explain them in English. Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about something everyone knows at work, challenges.
Oh yes, work challenges happen to everyone, and explaining them in English can feel difficult, but we'll make it simple. James, can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say you have a project and the deadline is very short. You might feel worried, stressed, or even frustrated. In English, you can say, I had a difficult project at work. The deadline was very short. I felt stressed, but I tried my best.
That's clear. And you can also explain what made it difficult. For example, I needed to collect information from many people. Some people were busy. It was hard to finish on time.
Exactly. You see, we're telling a story. First, you explain the challenge, then you explain what happened, and then you share your feelings. This way, your listener can understand your experience.
Listeners, here's a tip. Use simple connectors like but, then, so, because. These words help your story flow naturally.
Great point, Amelia. Now, let's try a dialogue. Imagine you're talking to a colleague. I'll start. Hi, Amelia. How is your day at work?
Hi, James. It was challenging. I had a meeting with my boss. The meeting was long. I felt nervous because I had many questions.
I understand. Did you manage to answer the questions?
Yes, I tried my best. Some answers were easy, some were difficult, but I learned a lot. I felt proud at the end.
Perfect. That's natural English conversation. Notice how Amelia used simple words but made the story interesting.
Another tip, you can also describe small details. For example, the meeting started at 10 a.m. My boss asked many questions. I wrote notes. I spoke slowly. I felt a little nervous. Simple but clear.
Yes, and you can also add a positive ending. I finished the meeting. I learned something new. I felt happy and confident. This makes your story complete.
Listeners, practice this structure: challenge, action, feeling, result. This is a simple way to talk about work life in English.
Absolutely. And in the next section, we'll talk about sharing achievements at work. That's exciting because everyone likes to talk about success. Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time to talk about something fun, achievements at work.
Yes, sharing achievements is important. It can be a promotion, finishing a project, or helping a colleague. The key is to explain it clearly and confidently in English.
Let's start with an example. I could say, last week I finished a big project. It was challenging, but I completed it on time. My boss was happy. I felt proud.
That's great, James. Notice how you described the challenge, the action, and the feeling. This is the perfect structure for achievements.
Exactly. You can also give more details. For example, I worked with my team. We had meetings every day. We shared ideas and solved problems together. Finally, we finished the project.
And don't forget feelings. English learners sometimes forget to say how they felt. For example, I felt excited when we finished. I was happy because my work helped the team.
Right. Let's do a mini conversation. I'll start. Hi, Amelia. How is your work today?
Hi, James. Good news. I finished a big project yesterday. It was difficult, but I managed it. I felt proud and happy.
That's amazing. Did your team help you?
Yes, we worked together. We had meetings, we solved problems. Finally, we succeeded. I felt very satisfied.
Perfect. That's simple English, but it sounds natural and full of feeling.
Another tip, use words like proud, happy, excited, satisfied. These are easy words, but they show emotions clearly.
Absolutely. And remember, achievements don't have to be huge. Even small successes are great to share. For example, I helped a colleague today. I explained something clearly. I felt happy. Simple, but it works.
Yes, and listeners, practice this structure daily. Talk about your day, your small successes, your feelings. This will improve your fluency and confidence.
And in the next section, we'll explore teamwork and relationships at work. This is also important because English is not just words, it's connection. Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about teamwork. Work life is not just about tasks, it's also about people. How you talk about teamwork in English is very important.
Exactly. Let's start with simple sentences. You can say, I work with my team. We help each other. We have meetings every week.
Yes, and you can also share experiences. For example, yesterday I worked with my team on a project. We shared ideas, we solved problems together. I felt happy because we worked well.
Listeners, notice the structure: action, collaboration, feeling. This is very clear English.
Right, and you can also describe challenges in teamwork. For example, sometimes we have disagreements. We talk and find a solution. Finally, we finish the work. I feel satisfied.
Let's do a dialogue. Imagine talking to a colleague. I'll start. Hi, James. How is your teamwork today?
Amelia, it was good. We had a meeting. We discussed the project. Some ideas were different, but we agreed in the end. I felt happy.
That's great. I had a similar experience. We had a small problem with a project. I suggested an idea. My team liked it. We finished the task together. I felt proud.
Perfect example. Simple English, natural storytelling.
Another tip, use words like together, help, support, discuss, agree, solve. These words help you explain teamwork clearly.
And remember, sharing teamwork stories shows your ability to work with others. It's useful for conversations, interviews, and daily English practice.
Listeners, practice daily. Tell a story about your teamwork, what happened, what you did, how you felt, and what you learned.
In the next section, we'll talk about lessons from work and how to reflect on your day. This is very useful for fluency and storytelling. Welcome to the final section. Now we're going to talk about reflection. Talking about your work life is not just about events, it's also about lessons and learning.
Exactly. For example, you can say, today I learned something new. I learned to work with my team. I learned to manage time. I feel happy because I improved.
Reflection is simple English. You just